So, how are you doing? How was the guided meditation yesterday? I actually wanted to replay it, and so I did it when I went to bed, and I went to sleep to it. So I don't know if that would work for you, but it certainly worked for me last night. I actually was listening to myself and following along through it, and I don't remember getting to the end of it. So that might be something you might want to consider if you're having trouble sleeping, or just needing to take some time out for yourself. There's a lot of really great guided meditations out there. I'll continue to share some of my favorites, but the difficulty with the guided meditations is they're often long, so they're usually about 30 minutes, so it doesn't really fit in this time frame, but it certainly will be a piece that will be brought into the monthly membership. And I would so love for you to join me there. I don't want to lose you now. As we go into the seventh chakra. It's often called shades of violet. Shades of violet. And it's the separation between spirit and matter. So if we thought we were going into the vastness here, welcome to the home of vastness. The Sahasrara. We're no longer concerned with duality. We are stepping into this complete embodiment of oneness. And it's, I'm going to take information from a variety of different books because it's so vast. Everybody has a different viewpoint of what this seventh chakra is. This portal, this opening, this tender spot in the baby when it is first born that we need to protect. Now, isn't that interesting? And even if you run your hand along your scalp, you'll still find that indentation, that thinner part of the head, the thinner part that is vulnerable. And there's some parts in the Vedic that there's the bindu at the back of the skull. And when we come up in a meditation through all the chakra system, from the first to the second to the third to the fourth to the fifth, and then fifth back to the bindu, forward to the ajna, and then up the sahasrara. There's a variety of different ways to work with these energy centers. And now that we're in the seventh, while we're here together, we will complete a guided meditation for all these energy centers that bring us out into and expand into our biofield. And the biofield is what, that's my deepest interest, is the biofield. It is to the chakra centers, but they've been around and people have talked about those for centuries. And the biofield is kind of the uncharted territory. So that's why when I came on, I wanted to go into this uncharted territory so we have a greater comfort level with knowing that we have this biofield around us. And when we do workshops in the urban immersions or even in the global retreats, it's working with and each other and sensing in and getting that higher sense perception, as it's called. Higher sense perception of the human energy field, which interacts with the universal energy field. And that's all picked up on ECGs, all those electronic equipments that are measuring things on our heads and our bodies. That's picking all that up. And we've even got to the point with the Acrylian photography that we can photograph it. So when we take the separation of spirituality from the rest of life, that brings us to that oneness. When we just zone into this point, this samadhi, this is where we part the curtains when I'm working with the philosophy of yoga. And the whole point of this is we bring the mantra into the third eye, but in the Sahasrara, we start to almost like float away from the mantra into this vastness, into this one single pointedness. Because it's not without the meditation, the concentration, that we reach this point of samadhi. We reach this opening of the curtains, this place of euphoria and bliss and oneness. Wholeness. It's said that it's the 1,000-petal lotus. So as we come up here, we didn't really go through that, but there's a depiction of a certain number of petals for each of the areas. We talked about it briefly here with the 2 petals of the lotus, kind of look like the eyes. And most of people will say that the petals are reaching up into the heavens and then dripping down this nectar. And there's also a mudra where you roll your tongue to the back of your throat. And like I said, you do this meditation that takes you through the energy centers and back to the bindu. It's actually a kriya. So it's more of a pranayama. It's more of breath work because you're directing the breath. So once you're directing the breath, then it becomes more of a breath work. And then it drips this nectar. And sometimes in that kriya, I can feel that nectar forming in the back of the throat. And it's said to bring it all down and nurture and feed all the chakra areas. So as I'm just looking at some of the notes that I have that are written, highlighted in the book. So often people will talk about the lotus flower, and why the lotus flower is so amazing is it grows in like this still water all over India. Any water, any still water, dirty, clean, whatever it is, but its roots are right into the earth, right into the mud, right in, and then it has this fine line of the lotus, and floats this beautiful lotus on the top of these muddy ponds. So it says that to arrive at the full blooming lotus at the crown chakra, our stem needs to be connected all the way down to the earth, our hara line, as we call it, and our roots deep into the ground, into the central core of the earth as we're working with it. Through this connection, our lotus is nourished and continues to bloom. Its petals ever unfolding because there's 1,000, so there's so much vastness here. Our purpose is indeed to liberate the spirit, to which the spirit can then return. This is the challenge of a psychologically balanced 7th chakra. Because it does need to return. We can turn it off. We can block it. We can say we're not interested. We're too busy for it. And it's not until we start awakening these centers and listening to this internal intelligence that Spirit says they're awake. They've awoke. They're looking, they're feeling, they're experiencing their consciousness. This vast and indispensable key to the ultimate mystery, which is endless and unfathomable, how far and deep we can go. The very thing that allows us to look into the mirror and the soul and perceive our own existence. And yes, it is yours and I's and everyone's birthright to exist and to be loved. Consciousness is both our final destination and a means of travel. What is it that is reading these words right now, sorting them out, making sense of them? What is it that drew you to read this book, she says? Choose your partner, walk the path you travel each day. What is it that sees, hears, remembers, feels, thinks, and moves your body through its daily activities? To answer this is to find the final piece of the rainbow bridge. So it says the act of individual consciousness reflecting upon its own immensity is the mystery of the crown chakra. To realize that consciousness flows through every quantum of life around us, and to behold the same presence within our own consciousness, this is enlightenment. To become aware of our own consciousness is to witness a miracle. That your mind can decipher these strange shapes on the pages and put them together into words and then into concepts and actions. This is a monumental skill. That we can contain within us the words to hundreds of songs, identify countless voices over a telephone. Even these mundane skills are miraculous. That we can run our own programs and rewrite them at the same time, that we can learn vast quantities about any subject that we study and transform the knowledge into creative expression. These are phenomenal accomplishments. Though we have computers that can calculate beyond our human abilities, we have yet to create a machine remotely as sophisticated as the human brain. They might be getting close. But you know what? As the closer they get, the more we turn on our brains, the more that we step into consciousness. It's funny. They try to catch up to the human brain, and the human brain then starts to awaken and starts to learn more and be more and do more. Thank you for being here with me today as we dive into this mass river of consciousness, this mass ocean of consciousness. We're at the 7th chakra. It's an exciting time. It's the mystic level that we all want to know more about. So I will gather from the great people that I have studied. I will share with you my experience of my own vastness in this area. And thank you for listening in all my transparency this morning. And to my children and my ex-husband, I love you. And I support your journey in joy and in pain. And to you all, I love you. And I support your journey in joy and in pain. Because joy is just on the other side. So it's a matter of becoming aware that you are in pain, that I am in pain, that he is in pain, that we're working with the unevolved portions of us, each of us, that inner child. You know, he's just that little boy standing at the door saying, you made me do something I didn't want to do. That wasn't my choice. When I actually thought he was going to say thank you. But that was my story. His story is his reality. So I honor his reality. And maybe one day my reality will come true too. Let's feel our feet on the floor. And allow those tree roots and that etheric feet to go down to the central core of the earth. And I may have shown up wrong. I may feel like he was wronged. Maybe I did do something wrong. For now, that is the past. And this is the present. And we will work with the present and heal the past and the future. And heal this too. And taking those tree roots right down to that central core of the earth. If you want to get distracted by any shiny object, make it this one, this crystalline core, as we draw up the red frequency of Mother Earth energy. And that nurturing And that grounding, allowing it to come into the legs and into your knees and your thighs and your pelvis and your hips. Feeling the strength of this container of earth, this bowl that holds our watery vessel. And into the lower abdomen, into that watery section of emotion. Allow it to soothe and heal and nurture. Permission to heal now and whatever needs to be healed now. Engaging the deep diaphragmatic breath if it isn't already. And drawing this red, beautiful Mother Earth energy up and into the lungs, over the shoulders. Letting go of all the anxiety, the worry, the stress, the pain. Down your arms. Allow it to come into the hands, and anything that needs to be released, allow them to leave out of the windows of your fingers. And allow that energy back into Mother Earth, as you may want to bring your hands down so they face towards the earth. And with a heavy, like a big hand, release that into, actually send it lovingly into Mother Earth to receive. And if you're doing this with me, see if you can feel that, bringing that red Mother Earth energy up your shoulders, down your arms, into your hands. Open the ends of your fingertips, those windows, so that Mother Earth can receive whatever it is that you're willing to release right now, to let go. And bring it up into the neck, the gateway, and the vocal cords, and thy will, and trust. Trust. I trust my decisions. Come up into the third eye. Breathe up into that gently, nothing stressed, and allow that to go up into the forehead and cascade over down the back of the body, this red earth energy. As we prepare to take the excess, the remainder of the Mother Earth energy as it comes out the top of Sahasrara and cascades down the body. So we're filling not only the body, but we're also allowing it to cascade in a 360 direction on the external part of the body, accessing our nerve endings. And coming into that centering, as we feel the stability of Mother Earth, and we find this still point, and we create that hara line, just like that lotus, right down into the central core of the earth, the roots coming out of the lotus, and feeling that 1,000 petal lotus is permission to expand that lotus and receive, open this portal, this Sahasrara, as we allow this hara line to go right up through the solar system, through the galaxy and the universe, into the cosmos, this direct fine line to divine. Consent to receive down this beautiful fine line, this superhighway, bringing in this golden white light energy and feeling the healing properties of this golden white light, this effervescence, this sparkle, bringing it into the head. Right, and you want to move your head a little bit as we get that little, it's like a little click sometimes in the head that sort of reinforces this hara line as we bring it into the full body. Allow it to wash through the neck, wash over the shoulders and down the arms to the hands, and into the chest, and into the lower abdomen, and into the hips, and into the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, and the feet. And sitting with these two energies as we come into our mantra meditation for the next 2 minutes. As we come into the mantra Soham, I am. I am. I am. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. Inhaling a little deeper, exhaling a little longer. And smooth breath. No pause, no jerks, no noise, as in sound. Thank you so much for sitting here with me today. I feel you. I see you. I hear you. And I love you. I've just decided to create a new boundary in my life at this very moment that I'll share with you. I'm not answering my door until after 9:30 in the morning. This time is sacred. It's sacred time. I'm not letting anyone come in between me and this time. I'm going to honor myself with this time as sacred. Honesty. Be sincere and honest, and your mind will be at rest. Be courageous, enduring, vigilant. Above all, be sincere with perfect honesty. Then you will be able to face all difficulties, and victory will be yours. Honesty. Be sincere and honest, and your mind will be at rest. Be courageous, enduring, vigilant. Above all, be sincere with perfect honesty. Then you'll be able to face all difficulties, and victory will be yours. What is victory? What is victory to you? What is victory? That's a good question to ponder. Maybe that's something to pen to paper, digits to phone. What is that for you? I'd love to hear from you. I love you. Make it a great day. See you tomorrow.